respect for everybody's time. Let's go ahead and hit the record. Okay. Welcome everybody to our May 21st, 2021 ALDOT Project Letting Seminar. So hello to everybody. If I didn't get a chance to say hello to you, thanks for joining in with us today for our letting seminar. I want to go ahead and get started, so we'd be mindful of everybody's time. So this is our letting seminar for the May 28th letting. We are the supportive services for ALDOT collectively as we present resources for DBEs here that are wanting to bid, as well as if prime contractors want to get information out to the DBEs. We like to use this forum as well. So I am Sam Golston, the director of the Mentor-Protégé Program. We'll go through quickly the staff introductions and share some letting information and then go from there. So our group is me as the director, Ms. Undoxson, Mr. Taylor, Ms. Lewis as part of our team. We administer the Mentor-Protégé Program. Also on the line, we have the other supportive services. Alabama A&M is on the line. I saw Cynthia with ENS, I think was on the line, as well as UWA there. So collectively, we provide what's needed for the DBEs to be successful in bidding and getting work through ALDOT lettings each month. As well, also on the line, we have from Montgomery, Mr. Huffman and Ms. Moore, who are ALDOT, who run our programs for DBE supportive services. All the contact information is in these slides to reach out to anybody that I've just mentioned. Depending on what area you're in, please feel free, if you're a DBE and you need some support, that you're taking advantage of the resources that ALDOT have made available to you going forward. So now I'll turn it over to Ms. Undoxson, as she will go over some of the highlighted jobs for this month. And I remind everybody, if you can put your device on mute until you're speaking, that'll cut down on some of our background noise.
Thank you, Dr. Golston. Good morning, everybody. We've got 9 projects we're going to look at this month for the letting coming up next week. And we will go ahead and get started with those. First project is project number 1 in Marshall County. This has a DBE goal of 3%. You see the bracket estimate there, almost $4 million. The work types that some of the prime contractors might be looking to fill that goal, DBE goal with. There is removal and demolition, quite a bit on this project. Bituminous scoring, there's a lot of erosion control. Hauling, there is still reinforcement on this project. I know we have a couple of DBEs that do that, and guardrail. The tentative bidders on this project, Miller & Miller, Scott Bridge, Dement Construction, Bridge Builders of Alabama, McInnes Construction, Wright Brothers, and Winston Contracting. So those would be the primes that you would want to reach out to if you are bidding this project. Next project is project 16. It's in Jefferson County. This project has a 6% DBE goal. The bracket estimate is between 6.3 and almost $7.8 million. Work types on this project, there's demolition, hauling, bituminous scoring on this one also. There is concrete work in this project for some curb and gutter, some sidewalk work for any of our DBE concrete firms. There's also erosion control. There are 2 bidders on this job, Mid-South Paving and Dunn Construction. Next slide. Next project is project 17 in Lowndes and Butler County. There's just a 1% goal on this project, but I included it because the bracket estimate is one of the bigger projects in this letting, 10.5 to 12.8 million. So even at 1%, there's still opportunities for DBEs. This is mostly just a straight paving project, though, so there are not a lot of work types for DBEs on this. Hauling and bituminous scoring are, though. Tentative bidders on this are Wiregrass and Mid-South. Next slide. Project 19, this is also Jefferson County, 3% DBE goal. You see the bracket estimate there. Work types, there is some demolition, but only on guardrail. Hauling, installing new guardrail, bituminous scoring, erosion control. The bidders on this project are Mid-South and Dunn. Our next project is still Birmingham area, Shelby County. This has a 6% DBE goal. Bracket estimate is about 5.9 to 7.1. There's demolition on this for guardrail, hauling, new guardrail. There is a little bit of concrete work in this, some curb work, and there's erosion control. The bidders, Mid-South, Dunn, and Wiregrass. Next slide. Project 25 is back in North Alabama, Marshall County. There's an 8% DBE goal on this, and I included it even though the bracket estimate is not that big. The 8% is still gives DBEs an opportunity on this project. There's a little bit of demolition, there's hauling, there is concrete on this job, there's new guardrail, and there's erosion control. The tentative bidders are Rogers Group and Wiregrass. And I would point out, we talked about this last month, Rogers Group has purchased Reed Contracting. So you will see their name pop up probably a lot more often. Project 26 is Blount County. There's a 7% DBE goal on this project. Bracket is right around the $2 million mark. Work types on this. There's just demolition of guardrail. There's hauling, bituminous scoring, installation of new guardrail, and there's some erosion control. As of the time that ALDOT put the tentative bidders list out, they did not have anyone listed yet, but they had not pulled the project. So you might want to double check on that project. Next slide. This is project 36 in Mobile County. There's only a 1% DBE goal, but the bracket estimate is enough that that is still quite a bit of work for DBE firms. There's removal, demolition, there's clearing, a lot of acreage clearing on this project, a lot of demolition of existing concrete, hauling, there is still reinforcement, there's new concrete, there's also a lot of roadway pipe, so if there's utility contractors in our DBE community, this might be a good one to look at. There's new guardrail and erosion control. The tentative bidders are Mobile Asphalt, John G. Walton, McElhaney, Cornerstone Civil, and H.O. Weaver and Sons. And we're going to talk about this project in detail in just a few minutes, I think. Last project, project 39, back in North Alabama, Limestone County. This is a DBE goal of 4%. This is one of the bigger projects, maybe the biggest project on the letting this month. Bracket estimate 11.2 to 13, about 13.8. There are quite a few work types on this project since it is so large. There's removal and demolition, a lot of clearing and grubbing on this project, also 12 acres, removal of structures, and the removal of a lot of concrete. There's also a hauling, bituminous scoring, steel reinforcement on this one, new guardrail, pipe on this project also, concrete work, and erosion control. So I would encourage our DBEs to, if you're in the North Alabama or even from Central up to North Alabama, to look at this project. Tentative bidders are Miller and Miller, Scott Bridge, Rogers Group, Utah Construction, McInnes Construction, Wiregrass, and Winston Contracting. Those are all the projects that I'm specifically going to highlight for this letting. If a DBE has questions about any other project that you are going to bid that you would like for us to help you with or look at, just please get in contact with us. And if you're bidding on any of these projects, we'll be glad to help you or answer your questions. And that's all I've got, Christine.
Thanks, Veronica. Our prime contractor guest today is John Whitman with Mobile Asphalt. Thanks for joining us today. You may have noticed that they were one of the tentative bidders on Project 36, which Veronica covered a minute ago. So John, take it away.
Yeah, well, I guess, you know, before we get into the Mobile County job, I've kind of, you know, it's interesting to me to look at the letting as a whole statewide, just to see where the work is, and specifically for this agenda, where the DBE work is. Here's my map. See, way down here towards the Southwest region is our Mobile County job.
I'm good. I'm on a bid letting webinar, and I got to be out of the office at 11. So I'm about to. Well, it's the Alabama Department.
We're good. So back to it.
Sorry about that.
Most of the work is in the East Central North region this month, which, you know, if you're a DBE and you're looking for where the work is, where you can get multiple projects, you know, from Chelsea to Athens, there's a pretty wide corridor of work being let, and that's where the majority of the DBE participation is. Looking at the letting as a whole, it looks like it's around a $65 million letting, which is sizable, obviously. Of that, it appears that there's about $2 million worth of DBE requirement, which averages out to about 3.2%. So, you know, the DBE goal is there, and there's participation out there, and there's going to be plenty of opportunities. Up there in the East Central region, which she was just talking about those jobs, there's, you know, East Central is Birmingham, Jefferson, Shelby, I believe Marshall, not Marshall, I'm sorry, Blunt, but out of the $64 million of work to be let, $27 million is within 3 counties. And that represents about 56% of the DBE goal for this letting. The other one is in the North region up there in Athens. That side, the big job, that's another 700,000 of DBE requirements. So that's where it's focused this month. So any of the DBEs that work in this area, you know, this is your letting, this is your opportunity. For me individually, we're a Southwest region contractor. We've got call 36, which is the only project we had to bid this month, which is fine. Sometimes it's good to have a light letting. It kind of gives us an opportunity to take a breath, get contract for previous lettings under contract, get the subcontracts out, get everybody approved, and get started. So personally, I'm not too distraught of only having one project in the letting. I know there's more to come, and it's still a good project. So as you were saying, call 36 is, I believe we've got just 1% DBE goal on it. That's not a lot for a new construction or widening project, but so that's kind of odd, but it's still a fairly good job. Seeing it's a $3 to $4 million job, so that's $30,000 to $40,000 of DBE obligation that's got to be met. If you're not familiar with the project, it's on Highway 158 in Saraland, just off of exit 13, off of I-65. The project is a It's a east-west roadway, 158, and we're widening the south part of the road. The intent, if I read the plans right and understand what they're doing, is we're going to widen the east side of the road, but that will enable an additional through lane for the westbound lanes. Right now, this project is right in the vicinity of Saraland High School and a Super Walmart and the I-65 interchange, and there's a lot of congestion going through there. And right now, we only have one westbound lane, through lane, to come past Saraland High School. So in the mornings and the afternoons, and really all day long, it's a highly congested area. So it looks like after the project is widened, there'll be 2 westbound through lanes, which will enable the kids to get into Saraland High School, and 2 lanes going west to 65. And it's big for us personally because we have an asphalt plant in Saraland, and any truck of ours that has to get to West Mobile has to go through this corridor, and it chokes down to 1 lane, and it takes a lot of time to get to West Mobile leaving from Saraland. So this will help out tremendously. Into the project, again, it's 1% DBE. Looking at the pay items, unfortunately, we have one particular item that stands out that usually 100% of the time goes to a DBE subcontractor, and that's solid sod. There's 14,400 square yards of sod set up, and if that goes DBE for the usual price of $3 to $5 a square yard, then just that one item will meet the DBE goal. There's also almost 5,000 feet of silt fence. So usually in my, in our projects, the silt fence contractor and the solid sod contractor are the same people. So this could be a really good job for a DBE grassing and erosion control subcontractor. There's also 1 culvert that's being extended. That's about 100 cubic yards. That's a good sized culvert, and that has the potential to be a DBE item. Otherwise, the rest of the items for the contractors bidding it look to be self-perform items personally. The other contractors in Mobile do a lot of this work themselves, so they'll be looking to sub out this erosion control, I feel, and maybe some other incidental items, but specifically erosion control, I think, is where this one's headed. But other than that, I really don't have any other comments about the project. It's a good one. We're glad to have it. It's been needed, and hopefully, as far as Mobile Asphalt goes, we'll be willing to reach out to anybody and talk to anybody. We haven't decided yet if we're bidding prime or subcontractor. That'll be determined next week, and we'll go from there. But I really appreciate being here, and if anybody's got any questions, I'll be happy to walk through it.
Well, I guess we don't have any questions, John. Thank you very much for being here and for going over this project and the other things you pointed out about the DBEs, the letting this month. That was very, very helpful.
Sure.
No questions, anybody? Okay, I guess we will move on. Thank you, John. We have a couple of events coming up. UAH, Mentor-Protégé Program, partnering with the other DBE services, supportive services. Mr. Mills, do you want to talk about the bonding and insurance and the specifications and regulations? Or Ms. Sotomayor?
Sure, I will. The ALDOT specifications and regulations workshop is pretty much a continuation from the segment that we did during the DBE orientation. And we were informed by Dr. Golston and Mr. Taylor that there were some DBEs who needed some training in that area. So we want to make sure that we provide them with everything that they need so that they can be successful in the bid letting. And that's tentatively scheduled for June 29th from 1:30 to 3. We're just waiting on final approval from ALDOT. So as soon as that is approved, we'll be sending out the registration and information.
Thank you. Mr. Taylor, do you want to talk about the bonding and insurance?
Yes, the bonding workshop is primarily for 2 types of DBEs. One is for DBEs that have never been bonded before, and the second one is for DBEs that already have bonding, and they're going to go through what are the T's and C's, bonding 101, if you will, and then for those that already have bonding, some of the things that you can look at to type improve that, and also improve your insurance and your risk portfolio and so forth.
Okay, thank you. Anybody that's attending or registered will receive a PDF of this presentation, and there are links to register right in the document that you'll receive later, as well as registering for next month's Project Letting Seminar. So, and does anybody else have any events they want to announce? A&M or UWA or ENS? Okay.
Oh, Christine, we don't have anything else.
Okay.
Oh, can you hear me?
Can barely
Hello?
hear you.
We don't have anything at this time, Christine. This is Cynthia.
Okay.
A&M does have their part 2 of their financial literacy series coming up within the next 3 weeks, and we will be sending out flyers to the DBE supportive services, and they will disseminate them to everybody else.
Great, thank you. I think that's all we've got. Dr. Golston, Ronica, Donald, anything else?
I don't have anything else, Christine. Thanks, everybody.
I think again, I would just like to thank Mr. Whitman for coming by and sharing that valuable information with us. So we hope have some DBEs that will get this information and be reaching out to you for the those items. So we'll be working there. If there's any DBEs on the call that needs any help with that, as always, please reach out to your supportive services provider as you can get the instruction you need or information you need to submit those bids and hopefully be successful. So if there's no other input, Mr. Huffman or ALDOT, if you have anything, if there's nothing else, then we do know it's work season. So we wanted to share this information as concise as possible so we can get back to work. So we would normally we'd go about 60 minutes, but I don't think anybody would be disappointed if we give you back 30 minutes today.
Okay.